like this, and then I'm going to do this building. Actually, I'm going to do the rest of the building, so save some time. So let's do the church also. I'm just going to do the three-quarters of it. I'm not going to mess with all the little details and try to select that, which won't make much of a difference. And let's do the building on the right side. And we'll do this sidewalk. Okay. So again, let's duplicate this one. Select inversed. Hit delete. Well, let's make this one visible. Hit delete. And change the blending mode to soft light, and then we are going to create a layer mask and try to erase areas that are now a bit too dark. So let's focus on this building right here first, and I'm just going to opacity 50, and I'm just going to erase the effect on the doors. I'm going to erase the effect on the lower part here. Even there. Let's increase this to 55. I'm going to, let's see. Going to erase where the shadows is a little too dark. take off some of the highlights here. So that should do. Let's see the building here on the right side. Here I'm also going to erase some of the effect on this roof, and then I'm going to increase the details of the street. So again, let's take the polygonal lasso tool. Let's first zoom in, and then I'm going to select the street, then I'm going to duplicate this layer another time, make it visible, select inverse, hit delete, and then I'm going to change the blending mode, this time to luminosity, and I'm going to decrease the percentage to 30%, so you see the difference. Now I find the middle building, the restaurant here, a little too dark. So what I can do is simply add a new adjustment layer, levels, then right click the levels and create clipping mask. As you can see, a little arrow appear, and what it does is that it means that it's only going to affect the layer right under, so the middle building here. So what I can do here is brighten it just a bit, so 0, 1.39, 230, and it only affects this building. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to add the man right in the middle of the street. So let's grab the man image, and let's grab your magic wand tool, perhaps tolerance 20, and then click in the on the white background, then hold shift and click again between his legs here, select inverse, and then you could possibly just use this one, copy and paste, or you can use the refine edge option. So here I'm going to leave the radius at 1.5, smooth 1, feather 1. As you can see, however, it's a little too blurry here, so I'm going to increase the contrast to 45. Then you can play with the shift. I'm going to put -10 here, and by the way, to get the black background, it's here. You can try a few things. This is the pink one. This shows you your mask, and so here you can see on a black background what is the result. So let's click OK, and at this point what you can do is you can drag this guy onto our image, and you will see that you're going to also drag the layer mask, and then I'm going to position him right under this cross here. Let's take out the snap. Here you can pull him up if you want, and then cut the bottom of the image, which is something I'm going to do. So I am just going to or what you can do is simply put a black bar, and then you can decide to cut it later on like this. And on this guy, what I'm going to first do is I am going to just go image adjustment, and I'm just going to add a basic shadow and highlights effect. I'm not going to touch anything else. I'm just going to hit OK. Then I'm going to add some shadows and highlights on the guy. So let's create a new layer. Let's choose mode overlay. Take the fill, the 50% gray box here. Then click OK. So we have our 50% gray box, and then we will be able to use the dodge and burn tool on this layer, which with the mode overlay, and which then we can right click it, create clipping mask, and this way it's only going to affect the layer right under, and we will be able to do it in a non-destructive way, meaning that if we want to do we want to fix something later on, we will be able to do it. So let's first start with the shadow. So let's use the burn tool, exposure 15. Let's increase the brush size to perhaps 75, and let's just create a shadow on his right side. So let's just go one time and do the right side here. We can also do this part. Let's reduce this to 55 and then do this part, and perhaps even under his coat here. So that's what we get, and let's do the highlights, dodge tool, exposure. I'm going to decrease this to 10 instead of 15, and let's just do the same thing here. On the left side. And that's the difference we get. Now let's create a shadow. So let's see. I'm going to first control click on the layer mask here to create the selection. Then I am going to create a new layer right above the dodge and burn layer, and let's see what is the selection here. Okay, so let's just fill the selection with the color black, and obviously I don't need anything around the guy, so I'm going to select the guy here, select inverse, and hit the delete key. And I am also going to take that off, and then I'm going to create a shadow with this one. So I'm just going to bring it under the guy, and I'm going to use the transform tool, skew, and I'm just going to bring the points, the upper points. Let's pretend that there is a light pole perhaps right here. So let's do something like this. Transform, let's scale. I'm going to use this point to let's just going to move let's try perspective here. Not what I wanted, so let's bring back skew. So something like this. You can play around for hours if you want, or you just click apply, and then I am going to blur this. So Gaussian blur. First of all, I'm going to choose the blending mode soft light, and I'm going to reduce this to 50%, and I'm going to add a maybe a Gaussian blur of 3 pixels. So this is the shadow. Now let's just name the layers properly. I'm going to name this one shadow. This one, let's call this men, and let's call this lower black bar. Then what I'll do is I am going to add another shadows and highlights effect. So I'm going to select everything. To do that, you simply click the one layer, and then you